set to go. Let's do it.
What happened?
Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is DC Movie News, bringing you the most up-to-date discussion and commentary within the DC universe.
Going off the heels of a Comic-Con that was stupendous, amazing, incredible, insert outstanding adjective here. We come to you from Los Angeles, California. This is a DC Movie News Show, 30-some episodes in. This is by far the most we have had to talk about. This is the biggest episode we've ever done. Let's get this rolling. We have so much to talk about, so little time. Let's get to the intros. We got Go Girls in our cups. We're getting amped up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
DC Movies SK on Twitter, Facebook.com/DC Movies SK. I'm Jonny Loquasto at JQuasto. This lovely lass sitting next to me, she is Beantown Strong. Find her on Twitter at Roxy Striar. You know she's Roxy Striar.
Hi guys, I'm so excited to be here and talk about my first Comic-Con ever.
That's right. And across the two men that for many, many episodes no one thought they thought they're the same person. And oh God, that's handsome right there. God, that's so handsome. Look at these guys.
It's a split screen.
It's a just let them look at their magic.
Did you guys choreograph something?
So
What are we doing?
We're Meisner.
Okay.
Yes.
The guy in the blue, find him on Twitter at Mike Kalinowski. He is none other than Mike Kalinowski.
Hey, guys.
Yeah. And the guy next to him, Green Lantern, you might call him if you want to. You can find him on Twitter at Adam Gertler. He's going to be the host of a brand new show on the FYI network coming up, as well as the current host of FX Movie Download on Netflix.
Yes, that's right. That new show premieres next week, I believe. Next Thursday, July 23rd at 9 p.m. on FYI. Man vs. Child.
Are you sure?
Man vs. Child Chef Showdown. Pint-sized prodigy chefs going against adult experienced chefs in culinary blood sport.
Dude, everyone watch that show. Support Adam Gertler. It's going to be a fun show. FYI Network. Watch it. Tweet him if you have any questions about it.
This is
Guys, let's do this.
this is the first time we're all together.
I know.
This is the first time we're all together. Except
Four.
briefly in our little satellite episode when we were actually on the floor.
Okay, and can we talk about that for 1 second? We honestly did the
second is up now.
absolute best we could in terms of getting you guys quality. We love you. We wanted to show some stuff from the DC floor. We did the best we can.
People were accusing you of being sick for some reason or something. What?
Grayscale. She was dressed in grayscale.
Oh, that's
My favorite comment was
Grayscale.
Roxy sick? Question mark.
All right, and I said to you, don't post that freaking picture.
And when they said grayscale, I'm obviously thinking Game of Thrones grayscale, and I'm like, no, you don't really have the texture right.
Yeah.
It's really more of a.
And I was thinking Castle of Grey Skull. So
Yes,
I'm like,
which
she's
is
not
different,
dressed
but-
like
And I was
He-Man.
thinking, Sarah, I'll listen to whatever you tell me to do.
And
so.
I was worried about what you're going to be doing for the next 3 days of Comic-Con, what you're going to be showing up in. So I was like, ooh, what's
Okay.
this going to be?
Don't worry about that. I look good.
Well, yeah,
Eventually we found it out.
First off, going in, the reception inside of Comic-Con was really, really bad. We had a pretty damn good episode considering everything that was against us. So I think it was a lot of fun. People seem to enjoy it. Rox?
I'm just looking at the split screen that Steven put on of you guys.
Oh, it's
because
so great.
You guys are now, people really aren't believing that you're sitting next to each other.
I love it. We have a lot to talk about. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go down all the news first. Then we're going to dive in. BVS trailer, Suicide Squad teaser, and we're all going to just...
Yeah, a lot of people wanted us to get really in depth. You've probably watched the both trailers 1,000 times. As have I.
As have I.
I've watched them slow,
Freeze frame
rolling it back,
and
freeze frame. I still have questions. So what we're going to do after the news is we're going to go through them. And if you're watching on the chat roll, I personally really want to hear your opinions too. I have some ideas, some thoughts.
Questions.
I got questions too. We don't have answers. We're just fans like everybody else. We're not insiders.
Nope. No.
We're not, paid off by the studios. We're not in for the interest of Washington, D.C. We're just like you.
Brilliant.
Fans.
Brilliant
Well
speech.
said.
Another
Let's get
classic
in.
Adam rant.
Let's
Okay,
go
let's
for
go.
it.
All right, here we go. First news of the day. Ben Affleck's going to direct a Batman solo film. Yeah, why not?
Gets my applause right there.
Let's do that. And co-writing it with Jeff Johns.
This was just it wasn't very surprising and starring in it.
It's still not 100% confirmed, by the way.
Yeah.
This is Deadline reporting. This is not from. It's not from Warner Brothers DC, but it's probably true.
Yeah, and very exciting. I think he will do a kick butt job.
Absolutely.
Great.
I was actually in the panel. Dan DiDio, Jeff Johns, we were just talking about that. So somebody tweeted me, somebody hopefully is watching right now, are you going to ask about Jeff Johns writing the script? Because it came out that morning.
Yeah.
So I jump in line to ask a question, figuring someone's obviously going to ask it. I have 3 backup questions. I'm like, no.
You're prepared.
I was prepared. Nobody asked a question. The panel ends. So we didn't even have that awkward thing of him getting to awkwardly publicly deny it.
No one asked anything about it.
What was wrong with you people in that panel?
I don't think people, the fans of DC Universe, the movies, realize that he is involved in it. It's not like he's not Feige. He's kind of like this outside guy that pops in and always is in panels and stuff, but no one associates him with the movies. It's weird.
And he's very humble about it. Like, his panel was basically a one-on-one with his whole history, coming up through writing DC, and he didn't even go that much into like the TV and movie stuff. But he's the Quesada of DC. He's the chief creative officer. That's the same role that Joe Quesada has.
Because Feige was always a movie guy. He was not involved with the comics from as right now. Johns has been this guy for almost 15 years
and not to mention Smallville, Arrow, Flash,
right?
Just to name it.
And I think the guy it does really well, but he's not Kevin Feige. He's not the president of Marvel Studios.
But he's not claiming to be.
No, he's not. No, he's not. It's not that he's claiming to be.
He can't claim to be that.
Right, exactly. So he can't. That's what I was saying. Like for the Warner Brothers DC panel, I wished that Jeff Johns was moderating it. Aisha Tyler did the whole Warner Brothers DC thing, and they were doing stuff outside of DC. But you had Zack Snyder as a director, you had David Ayer as a director. You didn't have anybody announcing that Green Lantern Corps was going to be a movie. Mm-hmm. We saw it in this like sizzle reel that came across. And very interesting side note, while it's on my mind, during that sizzle reel where they were saying like what all the movies were, where you saw like a mock-up of Ezra Miller as the Flash, Green Lantern, no mention of Shazam. Mm-hmm. And now recently there was news that all the Vertigo and the New Line stuff, so even though Shazam is not New Line, it's at Vertigo, and I know we've debated this, many times before about whether Shazam is going to be in the DC universe or not. I'm not so sure. Yeah. I'm just going to say I'm not so sure.
I was just talking to the guys that I went with to Comic-Con. We were talking about this, and it almost seems like Shazam does not fit. Seeing Suicide Squad, B vs. Superman, it doesn't fit. Black Adam fits. And someone put a trailer out. It's newsarama.com. Put a fan-made trailer with Black Adam as the main bad guy with all of the other Henry Cavill, Affleck, all of them versus him, and it works really good.
Oh, that's cool.
But Shazam doesn't fit in this.
That's really interesting,
There hasn't been any talk. There's been nothing about this.
It's really weird that we've...
so far out, though. But, not any talk.
Look how far Green Lantern's out.
But why do you think that they would have taken Shazam out of that sizzle? Like, they included Green Lantern and Cyborg, which are supposed to happen after where that Shazam movie is.
No, I'm agreeing with you that I think that it possibly isn't in the same universe, but I think that if it is, I wouldn't be completely shocked because we are so many years away. Maybe they don't even freaking know yet.
Maybe they don't even freaking know yet, which goes back to the whole original point about there being no Kevin Feige there to introduce the panel and talk about it. It was just the sizzle, and then they brought on Zack Snyder and everything.
Sizzle but no steak.
Sizzle but no steak.
Green Lantern Corps is not till 2020.
Oh my gosh!
I will say that gave me serious nerd chub seeing the core up there on the screen
awesome. Well,
because it just confirmed everything that we wanted to know, and it's just like buddy cops, intergalactic lethal weapon, other planets. I mean,
and we
it could be great.
Is it Hal? Is it Jon Stewart? It's going to be them all.
It's going to be everyone. That's very exciting, but still. Just the sizzle, no words, nobody, no Tsuchihara, no mouthpiece.
Well, here's the cool thing about the Batman solo film. They're saying it's going to focus on what Batman will be up to after BVS, after Justice League, all that. So who knows what's going to happen?
But I disagree with this. I think, and this goes back to what they're saying, because being that Suicide Squad is before Batman vs. Superman, I think this allows them to tell these stories of Affleck and his Batman before Suicide Squad. Because think about it. He's 44.
Yeah.
And he's playing like late 40s, almost 50 in this movie. And he looks at with the wig. He got a wig.
Looks like they even intensified his lines a little bit.
And if they did that, telling later stories, it goes into the problem with Marvel's facing, where, well, where's Thor? Where's Iron Man to help out with Cap? If you go and do before Man of Steel and Batman Superman, it's Batman by himself. You don't need to go and go, oh, okay, where's Aquaman? Where's Wonder Woman? Why aren't they helping him out?
Right.
It lets DC finally do something different in their cinematic universe and tell stories where Iron Man 3, what a terrible movie, because his suits are trapped. Well, why not just pick up the phone and call Thor?
Right, exactly. Right.
And they just, he's busy in Asgard. They just skated over.
Yeah.
Well, DC now are in such a good position. Do something different. Tell these a plethora of Batman stories. Killer Croc. Why is he in the Suicide Squad? Why is he in prison? In the movie, you tell the story of him with Ben Affleck's Batman. Phenomenal.
Wow.
My head's exploding from all this.
I love it. I love your enthusiasm. I personally disagree. I don't want to go backward.
No!
I'm sorry to say it. This is the first time. This is our first lovers fight.
Oh boy.
I just don't want to see going backward. I just want to see the universe moving forward because to me, if I see the stories in the past, I know that it's always going to end with him not going to be Batman
We're going to
anymore.
get into the trailer, but what he says is like 20 years in Gotham. How many good men are left? How many good guys are left? How many stayed that way? I don't know in that 20 years.
I don't even know what that means, though. Grammatically, does that even make any sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
It's fine.
Wait, how many good guys are left?
How many stayed
Wait,
that
why
way?
don't you want to go back? You don't want to go back because of what?
I
Like,
just don't understand how that
Gotham?
sounds.
Jason Todd becomes a bad guy. We don't know. So tell those stories.
And to bring up your point, if we do it after Justice League, after BVS, how old is Batman then?
Oh, he's pushing in his 50s.
I mean,
he's
But I love it. I love that he's the elder statesman.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
And we're going to see all these things. We're going to
This
have
is
questions
all
about them,
still
like Robin suit and
non-confirmed,
everything.
by the way. This is not from Warner Brothers DC. This is Deadline is reporting, but it's probably true.
Affleck, you get rid of the makeup that they're doing, and he plays his normal age. It works for him to be 5 years before Batman vs.
So
Superman.
what we don't know is how many years he's been away from being Batman. And I gotta think it's gotta be at least 10 years for it to be really dramatic. You think it's 5 years?
Yeah. He's getting older. And he even said he's at the end of his line, maybe the end of his career.
You think 5 years wouldn't be enough? You would need a 10-year
pulls
gap.
that
I mean,
Tire out,
10
starts
years
working out.
is more dramatic to me. 10 years is a decade of no Batman.
Yeah, well,
and-
of course, the longer you go, 20 years
And we'll
is
get
more
into the
dramatic than
trailer,
10.
We'll
but
get
like
into it.
when you
We'll get
see
into it.
Wayne Manor in that shot,
Because he's living on the property, though.
looking rough.
The
real
cave
sad.
looked good still.
The cave looked good, but the house is not looking
He
so
doesn't care
nice.
anymore. He's just Batman. That's Bruce Wayne.
All right, so what else is news?
Moving on,
We're
guys.
excited.
Jesse Eisenberg is a dick.
Oh, yeah.
Little bit of a deal.
And then he retracted his dick.
Here's his
Quote him.
Here's his quote as when he was asked about Comic-Con. This is what he had to say, and I quote.
Oh, no.
Because I sure wouldn't say this. It is like being screamed at by thousands of people. I don't know what the experience is throughout history. Probably some kind of genocide. I can't think of anything that's equivalent. We can't think of a worse comparison, Jesse.
I think it's just him. I think he's just... He's like one of those guys that's an actor that feels that he doesn't owe people anything to explain who he is. It's like, I show up, I want to be an actor. I don't need this pomp and circumstance that goes with it. Where other actors... Where, God willing, if I ever got a chance to be at a Comic-Con presenting a panel or something, I'd go nuts running up and down, high-fiving everybody.
Yeah.
Me too, yeah.
Okay.
And hugging everybody.
We talked
Just
about
not
this
his thing.
earlier, though. It's one thing to be a little shy and kind of quiet about it and not completely show your appreciation. Just maybe you're nervous or whatever. It's another thing to compare this experience to a fricking genocide.
He was mincing words.
I don't think so. I don't think he would be like, oh, I don't think he really feels, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I think he probably is like, yeah, that's just
No,
this
there
is
were a
what
lot of
genocide
people
feels
that
like.
told him he shouldn't have said that immediately after that,
Right.
and that's why he was retracting that.
Right.
But
Ben Affleck's like,
I agree. I think he just doesn't suffer fools. Yeah, he doesn't suffer fools. He
100%.
doesn't.
Yeah, I agree.
He's very anti-fan service, which is his thing. He's like, I'm going to be completely true and authentic to myself.
Again, true.
And that might not be a nice person. I personally don't necessarily agree with that. I believe with putting on a happy face sometimes and smiling for the crowd. And to his mind, he's like, you know what? Everyone else is lying to you. I'm being honest. This is my real opinion. You
It's
know,
a Jai
like,
Courtney when he said about you didn't know about Captain Boomerang. He's like, I don't know his history. He's like, yeah, be yourself. Yeah, he's not the guy you want to have a beer with. But
yeah.
Well, Jai Courtney also didn't mention genocide.
I will say in our chat right now, a lot of people are standing up for him, saying that it's being blown way out of proportion, that he's antisocial, it's not that big of a deal. And I think that in the scheme of things, all right, is it the worst thing that anybody's ever said? Probably not.
On a Mel
But
Gibson
I
scale,
still
it's a
think,
3.
Right, but I still think I just think that he oversteps all the time with this kind of thing. I think he's very talented as an actor. I still love watching him perform. As an actual dude, would I want to grab a beer with this guy? No, because I probably think he's a dick.
But bottom line is, he talking with
He wouldn't want to grab a beer
Zack
with me
Snyder
either.
I think he'd want to
and
grab a
Chris
beer with
Terrio,
anybody.
He
really.
loves the script. He loves the character.
Yeah.
That's all
I don't
ask.
really, and
All you can
honestly,
ask for.
ultimately, I don't.
It's not all I can ask for.
Why not?
Because I can ask for way more than that. I can ask for him to be appreciative of where he
Yeah.
is. I can ask for him to share this experience with his fans that are making his
But he
career.
doesn't owe that to them.
I think he does.
Why though?
I think he does because they're the ones who
They're
are
not
employing
paying
him.
They're not paying him.
If they weren't there, he would not be getting paid.
I disagree.
That's fine.
Just because-
Disagreeing, it happens. It happens
Yeah.
on this show. It happened
Because
earlier
we
in the
would
panel.
in a different way doesn't mean. I mean, he's just not equipped socially to deal with.
He doesn't have to hug every
It
single
doesn't
person.
bother me. He's playing Lex Luthor. I would have more of a problem
true,
if he
that's
was
true.
playing Batman. Okay, I'm
That's
sorry.
true. Maybe this is all method acting.
Maybe
in every
he's very
single
meta,
role.
but like I don't want to hear if that came out of my Batman. I would be despondent. Coming out of Lex Luthor, I kind of don't give a crap.
Right.
I'm going to mispronounce the name, but Idris Elba. He's terrible when he talks about Marvel movies. Like, I was doing, this.
Yeah.
What was he playing? What movie was he?
Heimdall. I was Heimdall.
He was doing that. Was it Mandela the movie? And he had to go do reshoots for Age of Ultron. He's like, I'm up on harnesses with contacts. I'm like, oh, this is pathetic. This and that. I was like, you have that Mandela movie because you've been a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Right.
At least Jesse Eisenberg, he's like. He's not bashing the product. He's bashing
his fans.
He's not bashing them though.
It's like a genocide.
He was bashing Comic-Con, and I will say, when talking about the BVS movie, if you even look into his awkwardness, it's been very positive from a
Yes.
Jesse Eisenberg perspective. So again, that's why I'm also not as mad. He's bashing Comic-Con, which, listen, let's be honest, there's 500,000 people that descend upon San Diego. It is uncomfortable. It's also very peaceful. There's
Adam, what
nothing-
about it's not my thing? Comic-Con, it's just not really my thing.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a
I agree.
genocide.
There's a million. There's every other way to say that was better.
He's very loquacious. He's very talkative.
Yeah.
He probably's got a
Listen,
source with him
Let's
at all
put a button on
times.
this.
Can we- yeah, can
Number
we put a
one,
button?
the biggest villain I had all weekend was the guy that tried to charge me $60 for parking. Secondly,
F that guy. F
let's
him.
put it this
Screw
way:
him.
when it comes to Jesse Eisenberg, come March 25th, 2016, it's not going to be hard to hate him. So
No,
there
I
you go.
agree.
Oh, we'll all be on the same team then.
And he'll still be doing
coming. The red capes are coming.
All right, Green
He's
Lantern
doing it in like a
Corps.
Bane voice.
It's kind of is a little bit.
So you were in Hall H. You could speak to this. Green Lantern Corps 2000.
James Felix, thank you very much. Big fan of the show.
How cool is that?
Waited in line. Comes up to me, so I passed the guy. So let me just give you real quick. I want to tell you how this
Set it
guy's
up.
breakdown. Okay, so I was, as I said before, in the Marvel versus whatever we just did. I figured out
DC,
Comic-Con a
we're
little bit
called
better.
DC.
Marvel versus the DC thing. So I go to the panel. I see Hickman talk about Secret Wars. I see the Jeff Johns thing. Then I'm like, I have time for lunch. So I walk back from the thing. I'm walking along, and I see people lined up for Hall H. This is like Thursday mid-morning. And this guy, James, comes up, and he's like, hey, I was just listening to the show. Big fan of the show. Love you guys. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. That's the best. I go up to the room. I'm ordering a wrap at the bar. I'm like, I have 10 minutes to get back to the hall. I got to get back there because I have like one of those passes, and I want to see. It was like Minority Report and then the Marvel panel. And the guy comes up to me. He's like, hey, I got crew. I'm here with like my family and stuff. Like, you're with us. If you want to come back, like, we got a bracelet. I'm like, are you sure that's cool? Because I know people cut and it's a horrible thing. But he's like, no, I'm going to tell everybody in the line around me. So I met up with him again at 9 o'clock at night. And at about, it was almost like 11 by the time we got bracelets.
All in line the whole
They were in line since 7:30 Thursday morning. Wow. They were toward the front. But some people were online as early as like Wednesday night.
Yeah.
This is for...
It's ridiculous.
This is for Saturday's Comic-Con panel. So excuse me, I mean, everything I said was just for Friday. They were online Friday morning at 7:30. You get bracelets Friday night at like 9:45 or 10.
Yeah.
And then this is for the Saturday Hall H. So we get the bracelets at 11. Then I went off and I went to the Fox party, the Nerd HQ thing. I met up with these guys
so
again at 7 in the morning. That was the
popular.
only day I got to go to parties. And then from 7 in the morning, like, we were all in line, and just the energy of that line, by the time, that 2.5 hours goes by super quick. And then we were just chilling all day, and we got to see Warner's DC. We got to see Quentin Tarantino's panel. We got to see Joss Whedon. We got to see Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which looks really good, actually. We got to see the whole Fox panel. It was a great day in Hall H, so I did all the things, and I feel really accomplished.
Well, good job.
Yeah.
So thank you,
That was
James,
actually,
you're the man.
Yeah, he's the
And
man.
Eric, shout out to Eric, our friend Eric that we
Yeah.
met, and his wife. that were offered the same thing. Roxy and I ran into Eric. I forget your last name. I'm so sorry.
That was really, really cool. We ran into a bunch of different people who really tried to help us out. And it just
Same
made me,
offer.
Yeah.
Roxy couldn't do it because you had to work.
Yeah, I was working, but you guys are like just the best fans of all time.
And let's not forget the Schmoes No
and
Meetup.
you don't make me feel like a genocide
Yes,
at all.
I forgot the guy's
Met
name.
a lot of great
at the
people.
meetup. You guys
That
were
was
awesome.
so much
It's really
fun.
cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Guys,
Very cool.
love.
And so, yeah.
It was like genocide,
Oh,
guys.
God damn it.
Right?
So, tell us this before we move on to The Flash. So, Hall H, apparently there was an image that resembled Chris Pine. With the tell us. I wasn't there. None of us were there. So tell us.
I cannot honestly attest to that because I was so blown away when I saw the word
New York,
war.
yeah.
When they played the music and they did the thing in Hall H where like basically screens come up on the side panels and Hall H becomes a 360-degree kind of like theater experience.
From what I remember, that's a Warner Brothers thing.
Is that?
I think because last year when I was in Hall H, and I remember
Warcraft did it too. A couple of others did it, but
Okay.
then the panels went by for most of them. So you had, Wonder Woman and all like the logos, and then you saw Green Lantern Corps, and that was exciting. I can't say that I saw something that looked like Chris Pine or not, and I would be disingenuous if I said that it was.
Did you see any of those screenshots though, and trying to go into it?
They were so blurry. I
Yeah.
did try to look, but again, it was just really weird that there was no, I'm representing Warner Brothers DC. I'm talking about the future
They don't
of this
have a
lineup.
shepherd. They don't
There
have
was
a
no shepherd, but then they bring on Zack Snyder, and then, he talks about his movie. Or, excuse me, I think Ayer was first. David Ayer came on first.
Yeah.
His performance on stage, the guy is like, he was a hype man. You would love him. He was totally the heel.
He was cussing, right?
He was cussing.
Yeah.
He was like,
Get it.
Screw, DC's got the best villains.
Yeah.
Screw this good versus
Yeah.
evil. This is bad versus evil.
That was awesome.
That was good.
They
It was
came out and
great.
said
It was
that.
really great. And I'll tell you, as much as I thought that the cast of X-Men Apocalypse looked like they'd rather be anywhere else.
Yeah, you want to talk about
said-
Jesse Eisenberg being a dick? That X-Men pack, they were all like, yeah, what were they going to get? I got wings.
Yeah, they were really
Oh,
lame.
come on.
I will say this: the Suicide Squad cast, they seem like a really happy, enthusiastic cast.
They're
Yeah.
blowing shit up and shooting guns, walking on the street, badasses. They're a fucking team.
That's,
Yeah.
that's a fun.
And because their trailer was unbelievable, and
Yeah.
you know that the movie is gonna crush. By the way, though,
teaser, just a teaser, just a teaser.
Sorry, the teaser. By the way, the exact quote was, "I'm not trying to start no East Coast West Coast feud with Marvel Comics, but DC has the best villain."
Wait, he dropped a Tupac Biggie reference?
Yeah.
He did.
That's
Yo,
his thing,
that's
man.
my.
Well, it's
Whoa.
funny because
Yeah.
Marvel's still in New York now, and even though Marvel Studios is out here, but DC is out here, so they are East Coast, West Coast.
How long till that happens? Till Marvel leaves New York and comes out here?
Oh God,
They will.
Yeah.
'Cause their
I just got
comics
to
are
go to
comics.
Marvel. I interviewed Joe Quesada and Axel Alonso for FX Movie Download. We're showing Avengers, so that was a pretty nerdy
You're
moment.
so cool, fun.
It feels really cool being in that building. I hope they don't do it because the Marvel offices
hope
look
so,
like they
but-
haven't changed since the 70s.
Good stuff. All right.
Anyway.
Well, before we move on to the trailers and the teasers, I should say, Roxy, it's time for a little TV time. The Flash.
With a song.
TV.
All right, moving on. The Flash.
We just don't have enough time today. We just don't
Wow.
have
Okay.
it.
All right.
The next
Thank
season of
God.
The Flash will have Jay Garrick. They're adding Teddy Sears to the cast, and Ezra Miller also had something to say about The Flash, but go ahead, Mike.
Teddy Sears, that guy. So it came out, I think, Sunday. I was driving home, see this guy. That to me was Barry Allen. The way he looks, he's like 30s, late 30s.
Yeah.
The blonde hair, the jaws, like that's
I
Barry
cannot
Allen.
stand your opinion on Barry Allen though, because
Have
he's-
you read the comics?
Yes.
Barry Allen is the classic square-jawed, blonde-haired,
He wants
good-looking
a
guy.
Silver Age
Yeah,
Barry
yeah.
I
Allen.
want a Barry Allen.
Oh my
I
gosh,
don't
Grant
want-
Gustin is so
I
good.
I'll
He's
say
so
Grant
good.
Gustin when he came on. I
So
was
who's
like,
this guy playing that is cast?
Jay Garrick.
Jay Garrick.
Oh, he's playing the Jay
Grant
Garrick. Oh,
Gustin
that's
won me
great.
over. His acting is
do it.
phenomenal. I love
Yeah.
him, but he physically does not look like what I picture Barry Allen.
But
that's me.
to your point, and to actors not being dicks and at least feigning enthusiasm, the award of the week might go to Ezra Miller. I just watched that
Yeah.
YouTube video.
Yeah.
The dude was geeking out in the best of ways, and whether or not he's as big a fan as he purports to be, he's mentioning.
I love that. That's the whole point.
He's mentioning the Event Horizon and
Listen to-
crossover and multiverse.
Listen to this quote here. I think it's Ezra Miller. I think it's awesome. And come on, we're the Flash. It's parallel universes. Grant Gustin is the Flash, and I'm the Flash. Don't you see?
Perfect.
It's the event horizon.
see.
We crossed it, baby.
see.
Grant and I are chilling. We're going to have a race. It's going to be dope, like Jay Garrick and Barry Allen back in the day.
Oh,
See?
yeah.
It's good stuff. That's the kind of stuff that you should
see?
say. You know
I
what?
said, I'm on board. I've got it. Settle down.
What do you think of those comments, Roxy
No,
Striar?
I think it's awesome. I love when people are actually excited for things. This is why it bums me out when people call things genocides. I love this. I think it's awesome.
Do you think under the surface though, there's like always going to be that tension of like, yeah, but I'm the movie guy, you're the TV guy?
I think because what TV is doing nowadays, and it is
It's so good,
it's
yeah.
so good that I don't think there should be that. Yes,
But
there might be.
money's kind of a thing, you know.
Yeah, but I think Grant Gustin's doing pretty well for himself.
I think he is too.
Yeah.
I think he is too.
Green Arrow suit, phenomenal. Everyone was like, what's his name? Steve Amell's like, never putting the arrow suit on again. Never, and everyone was like,
Yeah.
Joe was like, because he's gonna be Green Arrow.
Yes, that is good. I
Yeah.
totally fell for that, and I'm so glad that that's how
I
that's
don't
going
know
down.
how I feel about him showing up as Green Arrow at the panel though, in the costume, talking as if he's the Arrow. I was like, kind of like.
Well, that's because he's always on. Everybody
I know.
who knows him on set says that he's literally never off. He's always working. There's never a
He's a
moment where
great
he's
guy.
himself. I haven't met him, but I hear that he's
seems-
just
yeah.
like
And-
always on.
While we're on the subject of Arrow and the Flash, a little bit of a pro wrestling tie-in here.
Yeah, well,
This is so exciting for you.
Two things. Number one, Edge has just been Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge, had to retire due to neck injury, but Hall of Famer, legendary, is going to play Adam Smasher in the next season. And there's a very good chance we're going to see Stephen Amell in the WWE sometime very soon. I
saw that.
Stardust continues to get his Twitter feud going with Stephen Amell. Because there's another character in WWE. His name is Neville. The guy literally is a superhero. He's a high flyer to the extreme. They have a bit
Like
of a
Jimmy
feud-
Superfly Snuka?
Way better,
Oh,
way
off the
more
top
than
turnbuckle.
Superfly. This guy does crazy stuff. The other night on Twitter, Stardust had on a chalkboard the name Neville crossed out and then arrow underneath it,
Oh.
and then at Amellieville.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of Stephen Amell in a roundabout way, did you guys see about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles doing
Yes.
that thing with Batman? Really, really cool.
Oh,
So-
yes.
Oh yeah, and Sheamus is going to play Rocksteady, I think, WWE superstar.
On
That
TV
is
time, real
cool.
quick, can I say something that we've talked about before and I mentioned it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that I claim this happened. Constantine might appear on Arrow.
Yeah.
And didn't I say that several episodes
Yes.
ago? It got canceled. It's like, put him on Arrow, put him on Arrow.
Yeah.
And some of the Twitter's like, no, you can't. I was like, nope, they're putting him on there because he's great in the role. It's magic.
I
and
hope
brings
his
it into there.
interpretation doesn't. Yeah, he's really good in that role.
Stick him on Arrow.
Yeah.
It's not official.
I completely agree.
And I think her name's Wendy Mirasil. She's a producer, executive producer. She's saying we got to work out scheduling and this and that. I think it's going to happen.
They're working on it. They're really working on it,
so
which is
good.
awesome. And then
you heard
also,
it here first. DC News.
You did.
Several
You said
weeks
that.
ago.
More on TV time. So there was the Legend of Tomorrow trailer, which I thought kicked butt. It was cool. I guess that was kind of.
Are you talking about the one that with the comic book characters
yeah,
trailer?
it was cool. It was interesting.
I love that trailer. I have a question for you, TV time. Is Robbie Amell no longer Firestorm?
I'm glad you brought it up.
So okay.
What do you think?
I think it's really, really interesting because when I was there, I was trying to get information out of Victor Garber because I interviewed him.
Oh, okay.
And
I asked the right person.
yeah,
I didn't even-
and incredibly tight-lipped about it. He seemed there's a half of Firestorm. I don't know where.
There's another actor that's
Jason,
announced.
Yeah.
Jason Roush, the character. He was African American. He was introduced in the show early on.
And he was announced last season.
But then it's a new actor in a different role that is
Right.
not Jason Roush that has at one time connections to Firestorm. Here, there's different storylines. I think the bottom line is Robbie Amell was probably up for a pilot, probably booked a pilot, so he couldn't go on. So they're like, well, he'll be, half of a guest star and can pop
Well, we
in.
know he booked another pilot.
So something has happened. He's on another show. I think creatively they're trying to work something out now. The actor side of it was taken out of it.
Now, we also heard that Legends of Tomorrow was postponed.
It was always a mid-season, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I thought it went from like fall to spring or spring to fall or something
I
like
will
that. They
tell
just
you
announced that.
not one of these cast members had an answer about anything. They were like, we are 100% in the dark. We are so excited. We know nothing. And total girl crush on Hawk Girl Ciara Renee. Shout out to her. She is going to be America's next it girl. Like, just wait to have... feelings down below when you watch her.
Lady
She's
parts.
Yeah. She's amazing.
And boy
Are you saying we going to have the feels?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
She's amazing. But none of them knew when they were filming what they were
It's a
filming.
cool trailer, especially the Arrow part of it.
The
The Arrow part of it like made me really want to like Arrow.
Robbie
again.
Amell's a big CW guy. I
Yeah.
think they've got him on some other show.
The show's
Because he went from Tomorrow to
Yeah,
this.
so I think... And so
You don't
there's-
think it was just like money that like he's not getting a big because it's like
Nah, he's not holding out for more money. I
Okay.
don't think so.
Everybody's saying he has a movie coming up. I know he's a movie star and he's doing that too, but I think he's going back and forth. Whatever. And then there was a Vixen trailer, and that was cool too
Yeah,
for anybody
Vixen was
who's
great.
watching that.
So Vixen is kind of like Beast Boy without the transformation.
Or Animal Man without having to be close to the animals.
Yeah.
That's the character I want to
She
come
can
on
just
Flash.
kind of like
Animal
summon
Man.
the different abilities of like this
With the
strength.
totem,
Yeah,
yeah.
with the totem. It looks cool.
Bring Animal Man out.
Boomtown. So a lot of good stuff coming up. That's going to be a hit.
TV
Legends will be a big hit.
Yes.
That's it for TV time. Guys,
TV time.
it's time to... Number one, before we get into the trailers and teasers, I should
Yes.
say, let's check out the cast. There's a cool like little cast photo that was taken.
Fun.
And, of
Is this
Suicide
Hollywood
Squad
Reporter photo?
and BVS. Yeah, real
Can I
fancy.
say-
It was cool.
Also about the panel of those guys, you mean, tip of the hat to Ben Affleck for being there.
Yeah.
What he's going on personally in his life right
know.
now, and he was still there and put.
Not only was he there, not only was Affleck there, great stories, great anecdotes,
story.
Christian Bale stories.
Yes.
I love that.
Timing was good. He knew when to hold back, when to go. And he was. This is what I'm saying, as opposed to the younger people.
Jesse Eisenberg,
He is just a pro. Like I know there's other stuff going on, and
Yeah.
yes, there's room for authenticity, but like this is Comic-Con, and the guy. He was great. He was just great.
He had a
Yeah.
couple different things that he said that really made me laugh, which obviously Christian Bale thing with the don't piss in the suit was hysterical.
Make
and
sure you can piss in the suit, right?
Yeah, and that was awesome.
He was like Michael Caine saying,
And then he was,
He might be Christian Bale. He's always peeing in a suit. We always had to stop between sets.
it was like hard to
Take his
understand.
knickers off.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then he was talking to Zack Snyder, and he was like, "Yeah, when Zack cast me, he was like, yeah, it's perfect for you. You're at the end of your rope, burnout," which was like hysterical, making fun of himself. I think he's so rad and gonna kick butt.
Yeah.
I'm excited for
Ben
him.
Affleck.
Yeah.
Love him.
I
Always
love him.
have.
I love him.
I can't wait to
always
get
been
into
in his
trailers.
corner.
We need to get into our trailers.
How adorable was the picture that we tweeted out yesterday?
where he's
of
like-
him and... Yeah, come on.
Adorable. It's good.
Lean on me.
It's
awesome.
good.
Oh, keep going.
It's good. All right, is it trailer time?
It's trailer
Trailer
time.
Okay, are we going to start off with...
Here's what we got. Keep your eye on the screen because Steven is going to roll. We're going to go screenshot by screenshot as we talk
Okay.
about it. We got all the major ones. We got a
What
lot of
just
them.
happened?
Great.
And we're just gonna, there's so many amazing
There's a lot of
things.
images, so this is where we have questions.
I have so
Okay.
many things to say.
Oh, first off, that's the poster that was released at Comic-Con. Oh, Badass.
Man.
Where's
yeah.
mine?
Oh, boy.
Love it. So, there you go. This is obviously Metropolis.
Yep.
Which is, by the way, next to Gotham.
Which is next to Gotham. So we
Interesting.
see this is, and very cleverly, we know that this is happening at the same time as the events of Man of Steel. So
Right, General,
this is-
Zod is in there just ripping shit
Right.
up.
And anybody who's like, in Man of Steel, why are they just tearing down buildings to tear down buildings and what's going on? Well, this is answering all of your questions. And he's
Yeah.
watching
We
and all
talked about
that.
though. You noticed. Granted, we were all on board with the teaser they did a couple months back. Majority of people, especially people that didn't like Man of Steel, were not. This trailer was the smartest thing that they
Yeah.
could do. They could have said, nope, just Comic-Con folks.
Yeah.
Nope, they released it. And maybe people are not, oh yes, now I'm in board. But now they're kind of like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's overwhelmingly positive for this trailer.
Best
I've
thing
been
they
watching.
could do.
People are
Let's
into
see
it.
the next one as we see Bruce Wayne running towards the destruction. There's Wayne Manor.
And that was
So
Alfred,
wait,
right?
for going for the running toward the destruction, that was to me like the coolest part of the trailer, just
'Cause
because
he doesn't care.
It summed up the character. It
Yes.
was like not even thinking and doing all this kind of thing. And
I
like
tweeted a
running
screenshot. I was like, that is Bruce Wayne.
Right.
Yeah.
Just no care for
Yeah,
himself,
exactly.
just running.
And now we were talking about what exactly is the issue between Batman and Superman. So we look at this. Was this destruction based on something? Does this have to do with the feud? Who of his family has been killed? What of his
So,
stuff has
okay,
been
The
taken
so-
shot of
down?
him holding that girl.
Yeah, I know.
So obviously Wayne Manor was like,
it
burnt
is.
down.
Yeah.
Maybe
Wayne
the
Manor has
Joker.
seen
All right.
better days.
Okay, looking at this, I was talking on the phone with my brother who came on the show, and he's really a great DC guy, and he was talking about the fact that this might not actually be a picture. This might be like a fever nightmare that he's having, like a flash like that, which I think would be a really cool thing.
No.
You're saying nope because you think the handwriting matches the handwriting on the Robin suit?
Nope, I think that is just a family member
Who are you thinking is the family member, though? His parents? Or are you thinking it's related to the house getting burned down?
He's sitting there holding the girl. There's a Wayne Enterprises logo in the construction. They destroyed a Wayne Enterprise building.
No, I think this could be
that
him.
that is thousands of people going, you did not, my child is dead.
Yeah, but why is it supposedly the same handwriting as the frickin' ha ha ha?
I don't think so.
Those are his
I don't know.
employees.
This could also,
This
could also be referring to his parents. You know, his parents that were killed, and
could be.
you know, a younger, you know.
But that's why I think maybe feverish nightmare, like he's kept up at night, he's older, it still matters to him. That's why we see that we actually do get the origin of his parents being killed.
It's got a postage stamp on it.
Wayne Tower destroyed. So somebody knows he's Batman, whether it's Joker or not. Like, that's pretty freaked out, right?
Yeah.
Like, if somebody's setting up, because it's Wayne Tower destroyed, and then you let your family die. So, very ominous.
His family is the people he works. It's his family.
Well, it could be.
I think it references the employees.
Yeah, I think so.
And it also resonates with what made him Batman. Maybe the Joker wants Batman
Someone's
to be
pushing
back.
his buttons.
So now we said
Or,
that
here you go. Here's an interesting, Jason Todd burned down Wayne Manor.
We
sent
think
the newspaper. That's an interesting theory in chat room.
Listen,
People are
Jason
loving
Todd
it.
is dead in this
Let your
world. I don't
family
care what
die.
anybody says.
All
Jason
right.
Todd
Why
is
did you
dead.
say that?
We'll get to it because there's some stuff.
We'll get to it. But I will say also, just real quickly, Suicide Squad, do you feel happens before?
I think they said it happens before.
Post Man of Steel
Yes,
destruction.
because he's Batman.
Okay, so
in the suit.
putting that, if the Joker gets loose, gets away, gets active again during Suicide Squad, that would make sense that there's a
Batman's not in
Joker
Batman versus Superman,
out and
no.
about. And that could be the Batman solo movie, again, deals with the Joker again.
I don't think Joker's gonna be referenced in this movie.
You don't think so?
No.
You think he's
I
gonna
mean,
be
outside of
referenced
this,
or
but he's
seen?
also
I don't
what
think
about
it's gonna be seen or referenced.
No. See, but he's clearly referenced
Referenced,
because
but the Robin
the ha ha ha.
Yes, but that's just
a
like,
reference.
Yes. Also, him walking down the cave, we might just see a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex and a giant penny. It's not going to be about the movie. It's just going to be in the movie.
Right.
It's shaped who he is and why he's in this place in his life, but it's not really going to be dealt with. Superman's not going to say, where did you go? Why are you like this?
I think this picture comes from a now on the streets Joker. Post Suicide Squad. That's just my theory.
Because you think that the handwriting matches. Do you think it does? You think it's from the same person?
I'm no handwriting analyst. I'm just wondering, people in Batman's Rogues Gallery that might know he's him.
Okay.
That's happened before.
And I think there's a bit of a typo. It probably should say more than dozens killed, but that's just being nitpicky.
Well, dozens could be, just like just
100
barely
dozen?
100.
100 dozen?
I think it means dozens in the
Could be
tower.
less than 200. If less than 200 are killed, then it's like 100.
Yeah.
It looked like a pretty big
All right.
problem.
Well, hopefully a lot of those people got out.
Moving on.
To
To the next slide, everybody.
Moving on up.
So.
All right, this hair though. This hair though.
Lex Luthor, for those who are listening and not watching, it's Lex Luthor, and his hair is, very...
So why do we think
It's gotta be a
Why do we think
storyline.
Superman is bowing before Lex Luthor?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Kryptonite?
Nope.
Mind control?
I think kryptonite, because then we see that thing with him, the green.
Later on in the trailer,
yeah, in
yeah.
the case. I am thinking kryptonite, but I honestly don't know. It's going to be outrageously interesting to just find out. Maybe he just thinks he has a really bad hair and he's begging him to take it off. Take your hair off.
If it's mind control, then the next frame doesn't make quite as much sense. If we have the next image, if it's what I think it is, of Superman looking back at him, do we have that
no,
one?
I don't have that
No.
one.
Okay. I thought I threw that one to you. You just picked some of them.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
only send so many.
Yeah,
dude.
but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so then Superman stares at him, and then he's like giving him a serious grimace.
Yeah.
So clearly he's pissed off.
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's bummed.
And then we see
Okay.
Zod.
Yeah, and everybody's like,
Body of
why is
Zod.
Zod relevant here? Well, let me tell you
Why
why
is
he's
he
relevant.
relevant?
I will tell you. Oh, you're not curious.
No, why are you questioning why is he relevant?
No, like why is he
that
here?
question?
Because everybody's asking that, and I think that obviously somebody is taking his body to do research to hurt Superman. They're made to say stuff. It's either going to be Lex or
Hasn't
Batman.
anyone read the comics? Lex Luthor's got dozens of basements
Yeah.
of labs.
I think
where
it's gonna be
things
Lex, too.
grown. He's gonna take that, mix it with kryptonite. We're getting Doomsday.
Yeah,
And it's gonna look like a bizarro Superman. It's not. I don't think we're gonna get the Doomsday with the spikes and all that. It might have kryptonite coming off of him, but it's going to have a resemblance of Zod. Michael Shannon not going to be in it.
Can you imagine
Oh,
if
you
we
don't
had
think
just...
so? I was just thinking Michael Shannon will be Doomsday.
Really? Can you imagine if we had never seen Zod again? If there was just like no more mention and he wasn't in it at all? People are like, well, I don't get why he's in this trailer. I do.
It could also be like experimenting with the Kryptonian flesh to
Right.
see how
how it's
if they
affected
discover
by
how
things.
what could affect it. So just like, you know,
We'll cut
if
it,
we had
we'll
an
burn
alien
it.
corpse and we just want to see how this affects, because we have an alien on the planet and we don't know his weakness, and that's a problem. So it could be very convincing, and we see that Holly Hunter and her Senate committee,
The
they
Holly
want to
Hunter
know.
thing's interesting.
Yeah, her lisp that she's talking with is very interesting.
So
She's
did
got a
you-
weird affectation.
It's
going
very
there.
weird.
When Zack Snyder was talking about it, he was like, yeah, so I just really like this person, so I was like, I'm going to write a role for
Yeah.
her.
Say.
Yeah.
Hey, Holly Hunter.
Sometimes Zack Snyder says
Awesome.
things that I don't love. Like, he just says, like, I just think that would be cool to see in a movie.
But
Like,
it's not like it's some random. It's Holly friggin' Hunter.
No,
It's
this is
phenomenal.
great.
I just think it's hysterical that he said that. It wasn't like, oh, I made this role, and then I was like, who would be perfect for this? Holly Hunter. He's like, no, I love this chick. Gotta find a way to put her
and
in.
she's perfect for that
Yeah.
role. I mean, come
Yeah,
on
it's
now.
the senator.
Of course she is, because he
Yeah.
wrote it for her.
well, either way,
Moving
I
on.
think it's cool, and I think it's cool that there are questions. I'm
Yes.
glad that we don't have the answers.
I have a theory to why he's
Please.
bowing before Lex Luthor.
I would love to hear this.
And they really like to spin it that one way of Batman versus Superman, but Superman's not trying to kill Batman, and Superman would never want to kill Batman.
Absolutely.
So I would say that if there's only one thing that could make Superman bow to somebody else, would be to save another person's life. And I think Lex is going to kill Batman. He takes over the operation, wants to kill Batman, and
Yeah.
Superman's begging for him not to and wants to solve it before he acts.
Kneel before Zod.
I totally hear you. The problem is Lex can't be the biggest bad of this movie. We can't know how evil he truly
Yeah.
is yet, because
Yeah.
there's so much more storyline we're going to
Yeah.
get from him.
I think, thinking about now what you're saying right there, I think it's Kryptonite's in the room.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, look at what this rock has over you, this being that could take over this planet, and I have this little rock in my hand. And
Right.
I think it's
he
Kryptonite,
kind
too.
of presses his face.
I don't
and
know,
he's
but
like,
it's like because he kneels, and then Lex Luthor's doing this weird thing to his face. He's
'cause
like,
he's like, I mean, you could kill all of us, but look with it, just because of this rock, look what you can't do a damn thing.
A lot of people are, or somebody in the chat is saying, Davin Orvin says Batman took Zod's body. Do you think that's possible? And he's trying to figure out what Superman's weaknesses are, and Batman
No,
has
because
it?
those soldiers are escorting the body with Mercy Graves into which looks like Lex's office.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think
the
so.
soldiers
Good
are
idea.
crazy too.
I don't think Lex is the main villain. I'm just saying it's the power play. Lex wants to feel that power, and being able to put Superman on his knees,
Yeah.
basically through negotiation, kind of
Yeah.
feeling
It's-
that high.
smart.
I agree with that. I just don't know if he wants to show all his cards yet. Like, hey, by the way, I really would kill one of you guys right now. I don't know.
No,
It's an
he's coming
interesting
off
theory.
as a patriot. Like
Yeah.
Lex Luthor is a patriot, and a patriot of the planet.
He's
you
a
know?
philanthropist.
So, Rich Cruel Sugar says, well, Lex will lose his hair after dealing with kryptonite.
Probably.
Oh, that's right. He's so will.
Or is he bald already and it's just a wig?
Well,
Could be a wig.
Like Donald Trump. That
If
badass
it's-
thing he thinks looks great on his head.
let's not bring it
If
up.
it's not
that
a
would be
wig, we have a problem, because it looks like a wig.
Would
that's a wig.
Wouldn't that be a little too Gene Hackman though? How
It's
he
the,
rocked
it's
the
the
wig.
Donald Trump syndrome, where he thinks he looks great, but everyone around him goes, "You look fucking ridiculous."
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
this billionaire; he could buy hair to put on his head, but he doesn't because he thinks Lex Luthor. He thinks he looks great. It's hip. It's cool. The kids wear it. I'm looking cool, and everyone around him is like,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Mercy
Because
Graves
Lex
is
Luthor in the
going-
comics, didn't he lose his hand from kryptonite poisoning? For a
all
while,
different
like
stories,
yeah.
I
So
think
there was a time where he lost his hand. So kryptonite radiation. All I'm saying is there's a lot of relevance. There's a lot of story to draw from
Needless
using
to
that.
say, we can agree that Lex is probably using Zod's corpse. Let's move on to the
All
next
right.
slide.
Okay.
What
And
do
we're
we
going-
have,
The anticipation's
everybody?
killing me. The Batcave.
Oh,
All right,
Batcave.
this is killing me.
If
this
you're
is
listening,
so
let's
cool.
not forget the people that are listening. If you're listening, this is the scene where Bruce Wayne
We're in the
is
cave.
staring at the Robin suit that has "ha ha ha" the joke's on you.
Especially the listeners out there. Speaking of you guys, we're going to do a special thing on iTunes later, so stay tuned.
That's right. Anyway,
A giveaway.
Let's get back to this scene.
Yeah, sorry.
So there you go.
Okay, so this is interesting. So this is the cave. Now, is this him returning to the cave after he's been gone for years?
Has this been vandalized? Was this
has it been
given to
vandalized, or
him?
did he keep it that
I don't
way?
know. Did he do that?
Okay, here's my thing. I think he's still Batman. I don't think he retired. I think because
You don't think Batman ever retired?
Because they say and talk about he controls drones. I think he's in this. He lives in a little cottage on the manor. He's still on the property. He lives in this cottage. The cave looks in great condition. I think he does not go out physically anymore. I think he's got these drones that go. That's the
Interesting.
scene where Superman comes back. Oh, I've got to come back. He's pulling that tire to get himself back into shape.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think physically. I think that's how Robin was dead. left bloodied, buried. Joker with the crowbar bashed him, spray painted Jason Todd's whoever's body.
You're saying he's a Herman?
Which is why you think it's Jason Todd, because you think it's the Joker. And
that
if
could
you
be Dick
zoom,
Grayson's suit. We
yeah,
don't know.
We don't know.
We
if
don't know
you zoom
yet.
in on this, you see there's 2 bullet holes in this
And
suit.
it's burned.
And and there's 2 bullet holes, one by
I
the
think the
shoulder, one
Joker
by the
left the body in that suit.
And then he kept it. And
Yep.
then
To honor
Batfleck kept
him,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he broke
And I
into
don't
the
know
cave.
if it's Dick Grayson or
We don't
Jason
know.
Todd. We don't know.
Tim Drake, we
I
don't
mean,
know.
But that's why it's so cool that we get to go back.
20 years. 20
yeah,
years.
Yeah, it's good.
20 years.
I don't know about
20
That's why I
de-aging.
wanna
How
go
many
back.
good guys are left? How many stayed that way?
And what happened?
And what I love, let me say this real quick about this. I was always worried, again, a huge Affleck fan, but as actors, you've got your isms and the way you talk that carries over. And I was kind of worried there's a lot that I'm so familiar with Ben Affleck. I was like, will it take me out of it? He's doing something with his voice that is different. He doesn't have the normal Ben Affleck voice
And
that he
his
does.
face. I think, and his face.
It is a wig. We'll say this. It is a wig that he's wearing because it's longer than his normal, and it's not the same texture.
Oh, really?
That's a wig.
Really?
Yes.
I
And I don't say that in a
know.
bad way because his hair, if you see him, like, I mean, even at Hall H, it's very short and tight and cropped. This has kind of got that long flowing. Yes, they could do lots of stuff with styling,
Interesting.
but I believe it's a wig to make him seem a little older because it's got that longish hair that he's never had in real life. I think it works great. I mean, Chris Evans wears a wig a lot for Cap. It's just it creates a better look for the character.
We got a
But
lot of things going on in the chat
he's
right
doing
now.
something with his voice, and I
Wow,
think it's
what's
so
that?
damn good.
So everybody speculating on what's going on in here. Jared Smith says too many characters for Jason Todd. Case closed. Mr. J says Joker killed Robin, and this is the armor that was on Robin when he dies. It's a reminder.
That's what I think.
Heisenberg says if it's Dick Grayson, I will hate it so much. Fair enough, I
If
guess.
Dick is dead?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
To all our guys out there that are commenting on this, I don't think we're going to get into this. I don't think we're going to deal with this in the story. This is just, it's world building. We don't need to go into it.
No. It wouldn't be appropriate if these aren't the events that directly
Right.
lead up to the film. But what I
think that's all we're going to get is him walking by and looking at the suit.
I think
Really?
these are the
Yes.
seeds of
Wow.
the Joker that are going to lead to the solo film that will follow, and I think you're going to get
This is a fan nod, I think.
If
It's a fan nod.
if there is a solo film that follows, so Rich Cruel Sugar says, if it is Jason Todd dead, then Dick will return. Nightwing, please. That might make somebody very happy.
Could
over there.
very much happen.
Yeah.
That could make a lot of sense.
But it is cool that it is at least, and it looks like an adult Robin. It's not a kid Robin, and
if
it's
you
a
look
great
at it,
Robin costume.
If you zoom in on it, it's based on Batman's suit. It's got
Yeah,
the same
same texture,
The
yep.
belt is the same.
So if this is the same handwriting, I'm so focused on this handwriting, I know, but what are the chances that this is actually what they're talking about? A family member has died? Are they referring to Robin? You killed
Yeah.
your family? Is there something like that could be happening?
But he's dealt with that. This is, who knows when that could have happened 10 years
And
ago.
we
How
have
they
no
still
idea
bring this
what
up
we
now?
could.
and we do know that there's flashbacks in this movie.
Yeah.
So we have no idea, but I mean, I think it looks
Not to
present
mention,
day.
there could be dream sequences too.
I think it looks present day, and I think the reason the cave looks so good is because I think from the events of Man of Steel is when he decides he's got to get back into condition.
I think he's
and
always
I
been.
think since then, I think he's back here. Well, we'll see.
We
won't
will.
we?
We'll call it out. I think he has been Batman, but sits at the Batcave with drones. You know,
I think
Alfred
he
comes-
shut down
Alfred's
Batman
walking
Corps.
up- Alfred's walking up to the manor. He's like, oh, God, I've got to
Who
go.
agrees with me? Who agrees with Kalinowski? I think Batman Corps has been shut down until the events of Man of Steel.
So
and he
you
decides
basically
to get
think
them
it's
in.
like Dark Knight Rises.
Well, I don't like to reference that particular film, but I'd like to
I
say
like
it's more
that
like
film.
Dark Knight Returns.
Okay. So you
Can we go back to that source material that Zack Snyder originally said he was getting his inspiration
enough.
from?
Fight,
that the
fight,
costume
fight.
looks like it is exactly from?
Okay, fair
But let's
enough.
move on. There's more
We're
spells.
running out of time. Let's move
let's
on.
go.
Who's that been okay, good. I'm glad you put this one in
I
there.
don't know what's going on.
Is it a rock? Is that Lex? Is that Aquaman?
Is it Kryptonite? Who knows? Yeah.
I don't know.
Kryptonite.
That's a boat up there. He's
You don't think
coming
it's
down
Bruce? You don't think it's a young
There.
Bruce?
It looks like it could be
No.
Jesse Eisenberg.
It's a Burmese diver that finds kryptonite in some ocean that Lex gets his hands on. Lex has got his hands everywhere.
I think it's Aquaman, Jason Momoa, with his hands around his back, bent over, and there's a bag over his head, and he just left him at the bottom of the ocean, weighted down with tons of stuff.
Get outta here.
Because he's breathing under there, but he's basically just imprisoned him
Of
underneath
every
the water.
image, this made me be like, I don't know. This is
I
like
think
a
I've watched
wild
it so many
card.
times. I
It's
have
a
no
diver
idea.
finding
Yeah.
kryptonite.
That's probably the easiest answer.
In
right?
Addis Ababa?
Addis Ababa, Mr. Luthor. Addis Ababa.
Something
Are we
you got
going through
that.
Addis
We're
Ababa?
friends again. Okay.
And it's love once again.
Oh God.
Too skinny to be Bruce. Okay.
There she is, Wonder Woman.
Shut
Everybody.
up, you Wonder Woman haters.
Wonder Woman.
She looks
She
good.
does. She
Everyone's
does look amazing.
She's too skinny, and all my commenters on Facebook and Twitter, I go, oh yeah, you guys love this girl. I put Linda Carter, and she's standing like this, skinny as hell.
Yeah.
Linda I'm sorry, she does that, and she does that one scene where she tilts her head and charges the screen.
This is after she got knocked back, right? This is the frame when she got like knocked back a little bit.
All right. So the big question coming from the chat and everybody else is, who's she fighting?
I think she's breaking it up.
She might be breaking up a fight.
I think she's like boys,
How
boys,
is she
breaking it up.
relevant
I think Superman's
to
just like, you
this
just hit me.
storyline?
Okay, so we see her earlier in the story in her dress.
Yes,
and
looking
we see
stunning.
so there's obviously
yeah.
she's in these like social circles with like Bruce Wayne and probably Lex Luthor. You know, so she's kind of aware of what's going on.
Yes.
And I think that
Bruce
she's
is
kind of
intrigued.
keeping quiet. And even though they're the A story, I think when they get to fight, I think ultimately that's what's going to break it up. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wonder Roxy. Happy birthday to you. That was good timing when Wonder Woman came on the screen.
We have our very own Wonder Woman on the show, ladies and gentlemen. And she had a birthday this past week. And that's Roxy Striar. There you go.
You guys are oh my god.
Blow out them candles.
Okay, all right.
Blow
It's
those
far.
candles. Let's eat some
I
cake.
can't reach, but Johnny, bring it closer to me.
Oh, don't! I feel like if she leans over, she's gonna light her hair
Yeah,
on fire.
me too. Okay. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much.
There it is.
Come on now.
There you go.
Oh,
Yay! You guys are amazing. Thank you guys. Thank you.
nice.
There
Really
we go.
appreciate
We're
it.
right here,
This is
so-
like the most gorgeous cake of all time. Can you guys see this?
That's awesome.
So
Oh my
good.
god. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love you guys.
Here it is.
Well,
Looks
I don't-
beautiful.
Unless we're on the two-shot, I
on
think maybe
top of the
we'll see
Wonder
that.
Woman logo.
Guys and fans of the show, we tried for a Bane Cat cake. It couldn't. It was just
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Oh my
They
God.
wouldn't do it.
But we made it
They
happen.
This is like the
refused.
most beautiful. Oh my god. It's chocolate. I love
Damn right.
chocolate.
Oh, I know. I did
I
my
love
homework.
you guys.
I did my
Oh my
homework. Don't worry
god. Oh,
about
I
it.
love you guys. This is
Great.
amazing. And I love you guys at home.
And we still have another trailer to get through.
Yeah,
so
let's
we
do
should.
it.
Let's haul ass. All right.
right.
Okay.
Next frame,
Okay,
please.
so
Wonder Woman
look
looks
at her.
amazing.
Okay.
Wow.
What is going on here?
Okay.
Just go.
First of all, people are saying dream sequence, but take a look. No bat on the chest.
Is there no bat?
There
on
is
the
no
chest?
bat on the
It's
chest.
not him.
Yes, it is.
definitely
People
him.
are saying it's Jason Todd. I'm like, get out of here. It's not
Why
Jason
does
Todd.
everybody love to say Jason
I don't
Todd?
know. What I think
For
this
no
is,
reason.
I think he's going undercover. Think about it. He's got the goggles. He throws like one of those things over his head. He's got the
Yeah.
scarf. He's got the coat open. He doesn't have his bat pants. He's got like regular pants on. I think
Yeah.
he's just kind of covering himself up. This
I
is
think
not
he's
a
got
dream
pants
sequence.
over his bat pants.
Yes.
I personally
But
think
there's no bat symbol.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Because I
There's
think
no
he's
bat
got
symbol.
basically the bat costume without the cape on.
And no bat symbol. Trust
And-
me.
All right.
You don't think that this is Superman's pseudo army taking him down? You don't think that?
Oh yeah, I don't. People are saying this is a dream sequence.
No,
and,
no, it's
and
not
then there
a
were
dream
people online. I
sequence.
apologize for this, but people are saying that was Scoot McNeary. I'm like, they're like, look at his jaw. It's like, first of all, that's Affleck's stunt double right there, because like it's not Affleck. It's like it's his stunt double.
We're getting a lot of it's not Batman's in here in the
Who is
chat.
it then,
They're
guys?
getting
Who
a-
is it? Who? That is his
I
stunt
think
double.
that's gotta be
They're filming
Batman.
that. Look,
It's
first of all,
definitely
they're in the
Batman.
desert. They were out in the sun. There's 20 guys on him. He's wearing a suit. That's his stunt double because either A, he couldn't be there, or B, because it's again hot as hell. From an actor standpoint,
Or
working on
because
sets,
he had
that
to
is
piss and it was hard.
exactly
big
that is
fight
his stunt
sequence.
double.
He had to pee in his bat suit.
Yes, that is a stunt double.
Bigger
That is not
question is-
Jason Todd. That is not.
Who do we think the guards are with the
I
Kryptonian
don't
symbols
know.
on their arms?
I
They're
don't
obviously
know.
not like Superman didn't like
And
enlist
interesting,
these guys.
there was a scene of him coming out of that stairwell too. And if you look in the background, in the left corner, there's some columns. Remember in Mexico, they were filming what people were saying was Themyscira. They built Themyscira. It's those buildings. So I don't know if it was Themyscira anymore now. They were filming down in Mexico. I think that is an island nation, maybe a Corto Maltese.
And what about in the first trailer when like Superman walks down and those guys like kneel
Right.
before
And
Superman?
People are saying it's a dream. Okay, if Batman or Bruce Wayne's having a dream with Superman taking over the
What if
world,
it's Wonder Woman having a dream?
but why would Batman change his costume in a dream?
My silly pig 123 says the picture was released that proves it was Affleck. What picture? What are you talking about?
But there was a
Oh,
picture with him with the goggles on.
Yes.
And then
thank you, young lady, whoever said that.
props
My
to the
silly
people-
pig. You don't know. It could be a
Sil-
guy.
Oh my! I think you said
Did you
my
see the
pretty
fan that made
pig.
the Mad Max Fury Road with Furiosa and
Yes.
Batman with goggles and the
Yeah.
same thing? That was
They really-
my favorite thing.
Okay,
Affleck.
I am a Ninja Panda says they released an official picture of him this week. It's
Clay-
Ben Affleck, guys. It's Ben Affleck.
Kryptonite.
I don't know.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have kryptonite.
There you go.
No debating here, right? Of what this is.
No, and this is why I think that he might be kneeling. I think this goes back to that. So we see the kryptonite.
All right. Quite simply, let's move on.
Yes, that's him.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that's totally him. I
hair.
think it's awesome. And look, there's a bat symbol there. Can you see?
No.
All right.
And this is right before Batman rises out of the Batmobile to face off Superman before the end of the trailer.
You
Damn.
got my car.
You ripped the doors off my car.
That shot of him where he goes, and he's just standing there like, look what I just did.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Badass.
Okay, and then is this the last one we have, or
That's
do we have the last
frame
one?
we have.
Okay.
It's the last
Okay, we
frame
gotta
we
get
have.
into squad though.
All right, so Suicide Squad.
Get into it. The squad.
Was this the first debut of the actual logo?
I think
Yes.
so.
So Comic-Con debuted the logo. That was great.
Just to start, I thought I had like such a gut visceral reaction to this teaser. I thought it was incredible. People who are saying they didn't like the Suicide Squad teaser, oh my god, it was mind blowing. The music, the lighting, I just thought it was so
set the
well
tone.
done.
It set
Yes,
the
it
tone.
set the tone. Do I understand completely?
You know why? A lot of people don't understand the difference between a teaser and a trailer. A teaser doesn't have to give you storyline. It just wants to get you excited for the movie. If you don't watch this and you're not pumped up about it, then you know what? You're spoiled and I can't do anything for you.
Right, although obviously
there's
they
Amanda
were
Waller.
pissed that this was
She
released.
came off as a great Waller. Some of the dialogue in this is a little wonky, like, so they're the bad guys. That's a little, but I get
whatever.
the point. It's like you're
Put
trying
him in
to...
a hole and threw away the hole.
I put him in a hole and threw away the hole. Yeah.
So Amanda
all
Waller's
right.
describing what's going on.
Okay.
Moving on.
I believe her though. I believe she threw it away.
There
Introduction to Harley.
is my girl hanging upside down.
All right.
What about the...
Game on.
Well, we'll see if the pic comes up. I don't think you used it. She's licking the bars.
Yeah,
we don't have that one,
you
but
like that pic?
Yeah,
she's
the
looking at the
pic you
bars.
enjoyed?
Yeah.
But it's because she's teasing with the metal that she's got the bars there, and that you can't hold me in captivity. That's what she means by that.
Yeah.
If
I
there's
know.
any
let's
question
talk.
about Harley, if there's any question about Margot Robbie, holy crap. She's
Was there
gonna-
ever any question
No,
about
there
her?
wasn't.
I don't think
There wasn't.
anybody had questions about her.
She's
watch
gonna
Wolf
steal
of
the
Wall
show.
Street.
I think she's gonna steal the
I
entire
think it's her
freaking
movie in a lot of ways.
I'm so excited to see her. People were pissed in this teaser that they didn't see more some jokes from her.
It's a teaser.
It's a teaser. It's a teaser.
It's a
Okay.
teaser.
No,
It's not even done
teaser.
yet. Moving on.
Teaser.
Harley.
Here is El
Diablo.
Diablo. He looks terrifying.
Yeah.
Effed up those tattoos.
Anybody that gets face tattoos, I don't want to be in the
We
same
talked
room with them.
before you
Yeah.
were on. We talked about this. We saw in the cast. They all look like a bunch of assholes. Like people you wouldn't want to be friends with, and that's what they should be. You
Yeah.
shouldn't want to be friends with these people.
Well,
I
speaking
would
of
be his friend.
assholes, let's move on.
Okay.
There you go.
Introduction of Killer Croc.
There's Killer Croc.
Prosthetics and
He
all.
looks so
Fantastic.
good. It's unbelievable. All right, so
Props
that's
to
him.
Warner Brothers DC for going for it.
Thank God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like,
Could we get a man bat eventually?
they're not like, what would a guy look like if he had a real crocodile-like disease? Or like, nah, you know what? He's like a little
Kudos.
Hulk.
That's him being Hannibal Lectered right there. Let's move on.
Right. Not the Joker being Hannibal Lecter. Okay,
you
so
go.
first time we see the mask on
looks good.
Deadshot.
Yeah.
There
I
was
think
a
it looks
lot of
great.
leaked footage came out of that, the rappelling down the building.
And obviously a lot of Will Smith without the mask on, and I know people are going to be hating on that, but come on. I mean, how often would he would only wear this when he's on mission?
But this
Will
this tells a
Smith.
couple origin stories. I think it's going to tell a little bit of Will Smith's origin story as well as Enchantress, because you see her with the you see her looking.
Spelunking gear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about where in this Harley Quinn is Dr. Quinzel?
That's also going to tell a bit of an origin story too. Yeah.
She's being trained
know
up.
Okay, but
She's been put on the thing and the thing in her
see,
mouth.
There's
is
Killer
yeah.
Croc. There's Killer Croc.
and he's
okay,
making
okay.
her. Wait, but I will say, going back to Will Smith for 1 second, this is an unpopular view, but anytime he's on and it's just him and he doesn't have his mask, it really pulled me out of the whole thing.
Okay.
It really
Yeah,
did.
well, it's Will
I
Smith.
love
That's
him,
Will
but
Smith.
it just was like, that's Will Smith, and that's what I kept thinking.
Did we put in the thing with that he's talking about when the doctor is on the bed?
It's at the end, I think.
Okay.
It's coming. It's coming. That's Killer Croc. Just
Because
amazing.
you just see the little ha-ha on the arm. It's a
He
little-
looks terrifying. Don't want to
Yeah.
mess with
Yeah,
him.
it looks
Moving on.
great.
Yeah, I'd mess with him.
And
It's
there's
tough.
just a picture of the crew.
Okay, so then we got Kinnaman as Rick Flag. Some people were saying that right to the left of him is Scott Eastwood.
Yeah,
That's
it looks like
Captain
his profile.
Boomerang. Look at the chops on him.
Looks like his profile.
There was a different shot where there is Eastwood in the background when they're all walking together. But I think that's Captain Boomerang.
I don't
Really?
think so. I don't think that's
Is that
Boomerang.
Jai?
Look at those
Is
chops.
that Jai? It looks
I
like
think that's full beard.
You think his beard?
Yeah, because I
As
mean,
opposed to chops?
I picked the pick, so
it's hard to
Okay,
tell.
okay.
But again, with the lighting though, it's dark and it's kind of got that
Yeah.
vibe to it. It's good that I can't.
Yeah, and
really
we still
tell.
don't know what Scott Eastwood. Do we know what Ike Bernholtz is? Do we know what character he is?
I don't. I have no clue.
But he's in it.
Well, there's Enchantress. She
Yeah,
looks,
What's going on
pentagrams.
there? Pentagrams in a tub full of...
She's like a brooding hipster. I don't know.
she's not very happy. She got killed, man.
We're getting some sort of origin for her. I hope she's a wild card for me.
Yeah, we're not.
She's
Again,
a
I
wild
don't know
card.
much about the DC Enchantress, so
I don't
really,
either.
We're gonna get
It's very far.
We're gonna
from
get an
the-
origin. It shows her seeking in that underground cave. It's gonna give us
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I like to
all right,
call it
moving
the
on.
Spelunking
Frank.
shot.
Oh, okay.
We gotta move
No,
on.
no,
We gotta
Frank.
move.
What does Frank say?
And
Okay,
there
here
it
we
is.
go.
Dr. Quinzel.
So now, is that definitely
That's
Margot
her.
Robbie?
Look at her with the glasses, because they showed her on set with that look.
Everyone.
And there's the white
Okay.
lab coat with the red tie that she's normally always wears.
I think it's definitely her.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think it's her.
That is Heath Ledger on top of her going bzzz
I
with those
think so.
things.
And creating her.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so now in the same scene,
Yep.
we have who's messing with
I don't
her?
know.
That's
Now-
Joker's men.
So do you think this is flashback to when they first met?
I don't know. I can't figure this one out.
Like we said,
Flash to him creating
this is
her.
going to be an Assault on Arkham story with the Squad, and the Joker's going to be a side story.
Yeah.
He's going to be that,
I agree.
that wrench in the works of the whole thing.
So this could be at the mental hospital where
Could
the
be the
Joker
beginning.
is. It could be the beginning because I think when we see her in the car with the Joker,
Oh, she's full on board.
and I still think that's also flashback.
In this scene,
When
she's
Batman's on top of the car, I think that's flashback.
well. In this scene,
yeah.
she's working. I mean, but I don't know.
All right, moving on.
There you go.
Okay,
There
so
he
this
is.
scene now, I don't think this is present day in the Suicide Squad movie. I think this is flashback
It's
to
Batman on
previous
top of
the
the car.
events of Man of Steel, and she's in the car with the Joker when they're in their heyday.
I
in their
think this
prime.
is him arresting them, throwing him at Waller, going put him in a deep hole.
Yeah.
Do you feel like
I'm sick of cleaning up after you. I'm sick of
So
cleaning up
this
after
actually
you.
could be one of the opening scenes of the movie. Perhaps.
Yes.
It
in
wouldn't surprise
Squad,
me.
Yes.
how much are we jumping around timeline-wise?
I think
back
a lot.
and forth and back and forth.
I
Okay.
think that's because these are not characters that anybody's familiar with. So I think this is going to be a story that's told in a lot of jumping time. That's just my thing.
Yeah, I really think this might be the first scene of the movie, just to start off with the fire. Boom, there you go. There's a smile that only
That is
nobody could
just-
love.
God.
And not to mention, Joker's pants do say the word Arkham, which is pretty dope.
I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to bash your brains in.
By the way, we had a
Very
fan who
shining of him.
Instagrammed at us him doing it, but with 2 remotes. If I would remember his name, I would. But he did a phenomenal job. It was awesome.
That's
Just,
It's
I'm sorry,
creepy.
it's creepy as
Yeah, I love the first intro to him when you don't even see him and you just see like the bottom of his stomach and he's like this. Hey.
I think he knocked this out of the park. The 3 seconds.
Okay, so
good.
this thing could be what he's doing to Harley.
Yes, that's what people are assuming.
Oh,
He
and
jumps on
that's-
top of her. He's in a medical
So
facility.
he doesn't kill her. He just kind of like lobotomizes
He's just
her,
gonna hurt
but
her
makes
real.
her- but makes her.
Or maybe she's his therapist, like in the comics, and he's like, he knows there's some
Yep.
deep shit in here. He's like, I'm gonna get it out of you.
Yeah.
Here,
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
know what I
bring
would love to
yourself
see?
out.
You know what I would love to see? Just like in The Dark Knight Returns, the Joker for the first part of that story feigns
Like he's sane.
rehab, right? So that would be great. So, but the whole time he's just getting inside Harley's head,
Maybe.
and then he totally pulls the 180 and pulls the full coup de grace on Harley.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, that pretty much covers the teaser,
Wow.
the trailer, all the DC news, and we managed
Still
to do
inside
it.
an hour.
I'm exhausted.
I have a
And a
headache.
birthday.
I'm
And
sweating.
a birthday.
We have to eat cake.
I'm exhausted.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
we got a lot to do.
Is there
but
anything
let's
else?
all
Did we forget anything?
Fans out there, I think I want to know, what was he doing in that desert scene? What is going on there?
Oh yeah, we're forgetting something
Let's
big.
announce a contest, and we got to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so I actually got to go tour DC this week, which was amazing. Shout out to David Rappaport, the casting director of all those shows, who's awesome. And anyway, so we have 2 video games for PlayStation 4. Johnny, you want to announce the contest?
Yes, the contest is, here's the deal. If you want to win these video games, which are pretty sweet and not very cheap, all you have to do is go to the iTunes page. You rate us 5 stars. You write us the most creative review you could possibly write.
And leave your handle.
Yeah.
Leave your
handle. Leave your handle. You have to give the most creative, awesome review you possibly can. Tell other people about the show, and the best review will win the video games.
The
And if you
two
happen to
best
be-
reviews.
Right, and if the 2 best reviews will win a video game. And if you happen to be a graphic artist or you want to draw us, why not? Draw
right.
us. Make us look cool.
So
I
this
would
one's
like-
Arkham Knight,
draw
and this
us
one's
some
The Wolf
superhero
Among Us.
shit.
And you guys let us know, and let us know how much you're liking our
Arkham
show
Knight
or
is
what.
phenomenal if
It's
you're
a
not
great
playing
game.
it.
Yeah.
If
and
you're a really talented video game person, I would like an Adam Gertler skin so I can play as myself in
go.
Arkham Knight.
I
And if
would
you're
just
an
like to
artist-
clarify, the artist is not part of the competition.
We're just
The
saying,
artistry.
if you're an artist, you could put us all in as a different superhero. It'll be amazing.
Johnny just wants a superhero version.
I
of
really
it.
do.
It's
He
pretty
He
awesome.
does. He wants
Booster
to
gold my
Instagram that
ass.
shit.
Make it happen.
No, but you guys have been awesome, so I figured this would be a fun little giveaway that we
That's
all wanted to
awesome.
do for you
Yeah.
guys at home. So anyway, just make sure you go to iTunes and 5 stars and write us that review and leave your handle, and we will reach out to you guys. Thank you so much for being incredible.
Let's do that. All right, let's say goodbye, everybody. Mike Kalinowski, go.
Mike at Mike Cos, check me out, guys. Again, I sent out a tweet earlier. You guys are fantastic. Some days, I might be having a bad day, and just the conversations we get into on Twitter with you guys back and forth, talking DC. I love it. So you guys are the best. Thank you for welcoming me.
My
Gertler.
other half, I agree with my other half. That is exactly how I feel. But please check out the FYI show, Man vs. Child Chef Showdown, debuting on the FYI network July 23rd at 9 p.m. And that's it. Food.
There you go, Roxy Striar.
I can't wait to eat cake. That's what I think after
Bankhead's becoming Irish, I think.
He's changing all the time.
Can't wait to eat the cake now.
You guys are absolutely amazing, and you can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar. And don't forget about the competition. And oh God, I don't know what Johnny's doing with the knife.
Quote the cake, Roxy. Roxy Striar.
I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt you.
Her Bankhead.
Real bad. Anyways.
Yeah!
What were you saying, Roxy?
That was quite good.
That's good.
Good night, guys.
That was quite good.
All right, at DC Movies SK on Twitter, Facebook.com/DC Movies SK. I'm at Jay Quasto, JLoComedy.com. Headlining the Brea Improv July 29th. If you're in Southern California, I'll hook you up with tickets. Please come out and see me. Otherwise, JLoComedy.com for all shows and other fun stuff. So, hey, what a show it was. This might be the biggest show we've ever done.
I'm
and
sweating.
It's so
Me
great.
too, me too.
So much to talk about. We
Marathons.
love you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.